This is a review for Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 Platinum. It is available on Steam on both Windows and Mac operating systems. If you know other games such as Theme Park World or Theme Hospital, it's a similar sort of idea. It's not a business management sort of simulator. You don't just sort of manage the real nitty-gritty sort of bits. It is more a 3D game where you place buildings and rides, things like that, and it is very good. The first thing I'll start off by mentioning is Theme Park World has a bit of a storyline going on with it to some degree. Not much, but a little bit. This is a bit more sandboxy in that regard. The Platinum version comes with the expansion packs. You have tools, so you can design people. You can design a scenario, such as, objectives. You can design your own coaster or design your own building, which is quite neat. You can then go to play. Here you have tutorial mode to learn how to play the game. You have a career mode, which is a little bit more objective based, so it's the closest it has to a storyline, although like I say, there isn't an actual story as such. But career mode is where you'd have your objectives and you'd complete those. Then once you've completed the objectives, you can either carry on playing on that level, just kind of sandboxing in a way, or you can move on to the next level and do those objectives. Then you have actual sandbox mode or create your custom scenario. Let's have a look at the tutorial. Here you get three options: the original third game, or the soaked expansion pack, or the wet wild expansion pack. Let's just do normal. For the tutorial you can either learn camera controls, placing rides, custom coasters, how to deal with terrain and paths, water rides, fireworks, and your basic park management. If you go to soaked, you get options that deal with the new features that were added to that expansion. And then in wild, the same sort of thing, stuff to do animal care, things like that, which is added to that particular expansion. Let's just show you one of these tutorial modes. So you get a little dialogue come up which tells you about the tutorial. You click continue, 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 continue. To move your camera closer in or away from your park, zoom in or out, roll the mouse wheel backwards and forwards. As you can see, you can actually zoom in very far, unlike some RTSs and Tycoon games. And you can actually zoom out quite far as well. Let's quit the tutorial for now. I'm going to go back and go to career mode. Normal. I'm going to load a save. As you can see, you can then select from various levels. There are quite a few unlocked here to pick from, all with slightly different themes, such as Halloween theme parks or a horror theme park, etc. Some of these, such as these here, would have been locked until I did some more of these. Then they gradually unlock, like some here are still locked. So let's just reload one. How about we take a look at this horror one. So here's a park that I made earlier. It's on the horror themed one. You start with a few buildings. This I've actually added quite a few rides because it's a save rather than a new level. And to place a ride, well, let's have a look here. You've got a map. You have view controls. You have your files and options. You can go back to the career screen. You can also look at park management and view things like park operations, finances, staff. So here you can hire and train staff or fire them. You have some additional challenges if it's applicable at the time. Then you have rides. This is how you get to build rides. You can see which one you want to build, and you have to have enough money, of course, up here. And if you do, you can either build it all from scratch by selecting it, or you can go to build a save track design. So this can be one that you have built and saved before, or some rides actually have preset ones you can pick, and sometimes they will cost more, the preset ones. Like this one costs 4 or nearly 5,000. Then you can hit build and find an area where it turns blue, like here, and place it. If it's red, it means you can't build it there. And once you place it, you then place down the entrance and exit, and then build paths from the entrance and exit and join it to the other sort of pathway, so make sure everything's joined and people can get to it. I'm just going to ignore that and go have a look at shops. You can actually build shops. So you can build food places like restaurants, you can build drink places where people buy soda and things like that. You can buy stores, which are things like, maybe they would sell balloons, things like that, and it helps make you money. You can also build facilities such as toilets. Then you've got scenery, so that's to build things like benches, fences, and decorations such as trees and plants, things like that. And then you have paths, you can lower, raise the ground, and add paths. That's under the terrain tools. Under terrain tools, you have other options to affect the ground as well. Then you have a bin to delete objects. Up here, I can hardly see it because it's night time at the moment, but if you click here, this is your objectives. So you start off with apprentice, and on this level, minimum excitement level you had to gain was 5 with 2 roller coasters, and the minimum length of the roller coaster had to be that for both of them. Then monthly income had to be at least 200 a month, and once you ticked off all these 3, it would tick them off as you do, and once that happens, you'd move on to your next set, and then your final set. Then once you've done all of these, you can either choose to carry on building stuff in the level, like I say, kind of like you're in a sandbox mode, or you can save, dump out, and then go on to another level. This is actually, I've just launched sandbox mode, and this is what it looks like when you load a basic level like a sandbox, and there's just nothing there. You just have an entrance which you can click on. You can select the name of your park and an entrance fee, or have it free, and then there's a basic path, and then you basically just start building stuff, just start placing stuff down. Then when you're ready, you can go here and open or close the park. Really, at first you probably want the park closed since you haven't got anything there for people. Then once you're ready, you can open it. You can do this park operations in the career mode as well. Here is Peep Designer, which basically means people creator. So you click up here to create a new person, and it asks you for a family name. Let's just put anything. In fact, let me delete that, and let's put Winter. Okay, now you add a person. New member name. Okay. Then you double click on it, and you've got character type. Select person type. So basically, it's not very descriptive, but what it seems to be is male, female, child, male or female, perhaps teenager, and then male and female adult. You then can change your name again from here. You have various selectors here for appearance, such as hair, color, top type, color, trousers, and trouser color. Then you can see what they look like if they went to the swimming area and were wearing their swimsuit. preferred ride intensity. So do they prefer gentle rides, normal rides, really wild rides, or super crazy intense rides? You can also click here and do a randomize on the person. Now this is the scenario creator. So let's take a look. You have setup inventions. So you have unavailable items, items to invent during game. So you can select what the players can research and what they can't. You then can set up the park land. So give the scenario a name basically. So what will the park be called by default? The entrance fee by default, the easement rights, the land purchase cost, opening time, closing time, and set a date. You can choose finances, so what's the maximum loan they can have, how much is the loan by default, at how much % per year, the entrance fee, how much cash, various other options here. I'm not going to go too in depth. Set up guest statistics. What is the average cash that each guest would have? What's their initial happiness, their initial hunger and thirst, etc. Set up park options such as forbid marketing campaigns, so you can stop players from launching marketing campaigns, which they'd normally be able to do, say in career mode. You can forbid tree removal. Seems like an odd option, but I suppose you can put down a load of trees to get in people's way and make the level harder. And forbid landscaping, high construction, and higher difficulty for the park ratings. And climate temperature. There's a climate dealt with by temperature, the spookiness. Quite a lot of options here. You can set up challenges here. Create a challenge. New challenge. Edit the challenge. And set up parameters there for what the challenges will be. You can also do animal options and save the scenario from here and exit the editor. So what do I think of it? It's really worth getting. It's actually quite addictive, at least on career mode. I haven't played much of the tools such as Scenario Builder, Peep Designer, things like that, and I haven't really done much sandbox, but I've played quite a lot of the career mode and it is quite addictive. I just wish there was a bit more of a storyline going through it, whereas you basically do a few objectives and then it says, well, do you want to keep building or not? And then you would perhaps say no and go to the menu again and select the next level that's opened up with slightly different objectives and theme. So I would like more of a storyline. But it is full of features, especially this Platinum, because it has all of the expansions included. So instead of just having the career mode, you also have various tools such as the Peep Designer, Rollercoaster Designer, Building Designer, Scenario Designer, and you have a sandbox mode. So there's plenty of features and it is quite a fun, addictive little game, and it is available on Steam, and if you get it on Steam you get both the Windows and Mac version and you can play either one whenever you want. So thanks for watching this review. Please like and share this video, and if you could do me a huge favour and subscribe, it only takes a second and will help me out a lot. Thanks.